How's it going, everybody? How is it going? To Vincent Allen Leland McFarland Sr. You can just call me DV or Vince. Versace Vince, Ray-Ban Vince, whatever you prefer. Of course, the choice is always yours. I just want to thank you guys for the support and for tuning in, as always. Couldn't do it without you guys. You guys, the gang, the clan, the 850 some strong and growing massively, rapidly, the grassroots movement, those that are all about the freedoms and nothing else, liberties, and that's it. I appreciate you guys a whole lot, I gotta say. But yeah, we had a interesting meeting, interesting conversation with some people. I don't want to delve into the details quite yet, but sounds like there's probably going to be 5 people running for council or the mayor position, right? Which, you know, the mayor is just a figurehead for the council, and in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of meaningless, right? You know, Al Haynes really. I learned some things from a lifelong resident. I've learned several things from several lifelong residents about the history of the city of Wayne, Michigan. It was incorporated in 1960 as a city. Up until then, it was a village, and interesting history, but definitely a history tainted with corruption, with scandals, with we'll just say irregularities, right? A very kind of unique, in some regards, a tragedy in other regards. The city of Wayne has quite the interesting history, and you can, you know, speak with several city councilmen or what have you, you know, high-ranking officials in the city of Wayne, and you know, you'll notice a pattern of just a culture of corruption, a culture of civil rights violations, right, which is what I'm mainly focused on, because that's what I mainly care about: constitutional rights violations, property rights violations, and the like. But you know, I'm just interested in a good story, but more importantly, I'm interested in the truth. I'm interested in justice, right? And you know, when you see something as an American that is just so egregiously wrong, you know, and it's wrong on every fundamental level, right? I mean, there's so many different things that the city of Wayne did, to me personally, that is really just inexcusable at the end of the day. And it's a message and it's a story that, you know, me and Josh Abrams have been working on, and you know, we're going to bring it to you guys, of course, because, you know, somebody's got to do it, right? At the end of the day, it's not about the messenger, right? It's not about me, it's about the message. Because, you know, if a local government's willing to do what they did to me, in the, I guess, protected status class that I'm in, right, a disabled veteran and the like, you know, if the city of Wayne is willing to do that to somebody like me, with an immigrant wife, it really goes to show. It really goes to show a lawful immigrant, right? Not an illegal immigrant, not someone who, you know, skipped the line and did what they wanted, right? But someone who followed the rules, and, you know, just like myself, right? I followed the city ordinance, and then I was subsequently punished for it, and, you know, that's led to quite a plethora of emotional distress I guess, for starters, but it's far beyond that, you know. When you're the victim of cruel and unusual punishment, when you're the victim of, you know, false imprisonment, malicious prosecution, just really avoid ab initio scenario all around from the very beginning, from the very start. Void ab initio, ultra vares on May 9th. And what that's led to is a traumatic brain injury of sorts, right? An emotional trauma that's so consequential to not only myself, but, you know, my wife and my 2 children, my 3 children, plus every member of my family. You know, this unlawful, unjust, without probable cause prosecution. It's an attack on all of America, and it's an attack on our fundamental rights, our 4th Amendment, our 14th Amendment, our 6th Amendment, our 8th Amendment. You know, to not give over video discovery for over 6 months, to not produce video discovery. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I only care about the videos, really. I mean, the police reports were garbage, which is something that, you know, Judge Plakas brought up. They're contradictory. They don't make any sense. They're vague. They're ambiguous, right? And of course, that's by design. You know, you'll notice that pattern time and time again with the city of Wayne, Michigan. Is the city of Wayne, Michigan has this pattern, and it's a governmental pattern. It's a pattern that impacts the fire department, the police department, city hall, the city manager's office, the DPW office, right? Because July 10th, that was a hit job, right? That was a drive-by hit job where I had a DPW worker parked in front of my driveway. And when I called the police, because I, as well as my tenant and my wife, were concerned based on the type of language and what the city of Wayne worker, the DPW worker, was, the type of language that they were using. I mean, it was, you know, degrading and disgusting, and it was, you know, entrapment, right? Because they're parked in front of my driveway, so preventing me from leaving. So it's hard to relive, but it's necessary, guys, because we've got to be as thorough and as careful as possible, and provide the best lawsuit that we can, right? The best case that we can. We have to, you know, I feel like it's my civic duty, because I know that this type of case can impact a lot of people, and I think this is a particularly good 4th Amendment case. It's very unique in the sense that, you know, it involves so many warrantless searches and seizures in such a short span of time, combined with a literal confession. The whole purpose of the fire department's presence is to harass, annoy, and embarrass me, to provoke me, to force dominion over me. And I'm just not going to stand for it, guys, you know. So, you know, I bring this message to the world, to the courts, to YouTube, to the public, because it's a message that I just feel obligated to bring, and to be quite honest with you guys, to be quite truthful with you. I don't think I would be able to live with myself if I didn't, bring this, or to give the attention to these cases that it deserves, right? That these cases deserve. If I didn't pursue this to the very bitter end, I don't think I could. I don't think I could sleep at night. I mean, I really can't sleep at night, anyways, from what the city of Wayne has done to me and my family, and the stress and the agony, and just. I mean, when you're falsely accused of a crime that couldn't even legally exist, that's a whole different level of mind fuck, guys. It just is. I don't know how else to put it. So, I appreciate you guys tuning in, listening to my message, and letting me share my thoughts. It's been an interesting week. I would say, a good percentage of it was positive. Definitely trending in the right direction, right? So we have no issue climbing out of the pits of hell to conquer evil. Because that's what, we've experienced, my wife and my family and myself and my children and my community and my city and my county, my state, my country, my continent, my world, my universe. With every fiber of my being, I'm going to ensure that justice is served, the Constitution is upheld, and common sense is restored to America. So I appreciate it. God bless you, and may Jesus Christ be with you.